Shiva, Bullet Beam,
Ready production.
guess who's back with a brand new track?
Make your purchase.
And the melody, ng sumama. Sinisigurado kung ika'y mapapahama. Basta may alak, may balak. May alak, may balak. Ito ng huwag ka nang sumama. Pagkatapos ng gabi na'y madadala ka. Basta may alak, may balak. May alak, may balak.
Teka pala miss, huwag ka na sumama. Inom mo magdamag na abot hanggang umaga. Daig pa ang gayo, mga tama sa kanila. Kaya please lang, mag-isip-isip ka muna. Kasi may alak, may balak. Mag-isilabasan, mga manya. Kasi baka mga...
What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? Happy Friday! It's been a while. How you been? What's been good in your neighborhood? Man, oh man. Uh-oh, my cat just jumped. Baby, you can't do that. Come on over here. She jumped. She just dove right into my keyboard. Thank you. Okay, baby, just chill now, okay? That's what I get for giving her treats. I tell you, some of these cat treats are addictive. They make them psycho. Anyway, what's going good? I hope you've been all right. We finally got summer over here in Southern Cali in the Golden State. Oh, by the way, the intro song is one of my favorite Filipino jams. OC Dogs. My alag pag my balak. So yeah, it's a nice little party song for Friday, especially if you're heading out, you know, with friends or family, having some dinner and some drinks, watching the ball game. I don't know who's playing tonight, but I was watching the Dodgers game the other day, and I said to myself, luckily, we're not going the same kind of route as we were with the LA Lakers. You know, I felt a little embarrassed this year about the LA Lakers. The issue with LeBron, right? But anyway, let's put that aside. I don't really want to talk about that. Man, I tell you, them Nuggets though, they whooped our ass good. I hate it, but you know, you got to give props, I guess, right? Anyway, so today we're going to have varied topics. We are going to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk to you about Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, first of all. Happy LGBTQIA Pride Month to everyone. Okay? Everyone. That includes those of us who are not in the LGBTQIA rainbow. Also, we want to celebrate, what was it that I wanted to talk about? Briefly. Juneteenth, yes. Happy Juneteenth month. Not just day, but month. And I know a lot of people, there's a controversy about the Juneteenth. A lot of people don't really like the holiday because, you know, we celebrate freedom in this country. And there's a lot of lip service given to freedom. But in the reality of everyday life, I am very, 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 unfortunately, I have to say, there's not a lot of freedom. And the chains might not be there physically, but there's still a lot of oppression. There's a lot of racial injustice going on. And it transcends beyond race. It's gender. It's sexual orientation. It's just immigration status. Okay, there's a lot of prejudice and bias against immigrants. So we do need a lot of work, not just in the country of the U.S., but we need a lot of work as a collective humanity. You know, collectively, we still haven't figured out how to eliminate child abuse. or homelessness, or people just dying of terrible diseases that they don't have to, like diabetes. You know, the four horsemen: heart attack, strokes, diabetes. What's the other one? I forget the other one, but it's the four horsemen, you know? So, having said that, we do have some problems with the healthcare system. And this country, once again, gives a lot of lip service to things like mental health, for example. Mental health, there's even a mental health month, isn't there? Mental health awareness month or something like that. And I used to be all about it. I used to talk about I'll talk about mental health all the time. I don't need an awareness month to talk about mental health, because mental health to me is a very crucial and important subject matter. But the healthcare system is not for anyone's health. The healthcare system in this country is for people to get paid first and foremost, and you may happen to benefit after that priority. But the priority of the healthcare system is for corporations to get paid first and foremost. And it's all a race as to who can get the most money and who can keep the most money as far as insurance is concerned. Insurance, and I'm talking about people who have one of the country's top 5 health insurance. I have one of the country's top 5 health insurance plans. I have the Rolls Royce of health insurance plans. And even with that, there are so many flaws. I can't get certain kinds of medical treatments to save my life. I can't. And it's not for not trying, but between the health insurance company trying to keep as much money as they can, while telling you and printing in their EOPs, EOBs, and all of that they fully cover XYZ. In real life, it doesn't happen. On paper and in theory, it sounds wonderful. But when you actually go to get those benefits, to go get those medical services, you're good luck, okay? Because you may as well go ahead and take a course in medical coding and medical billing, because trust me, you're going to need it. You are going to need it, especially if you have a PPO, okay? If you have a PPO, yeah, go on ahead and set aside some time to learn the diagnosis codes, the process of medical billing, because these medical billing offices don't seem to know anything. And they don't seem to want to know or seem to do anything. You're going to be doing all the calling that they should be doing. So by the time you actually try to address the medical issue with the doctor, you've already been worn out so much calling back and forth between your insurance and your medical service provider's medical billing office and this and that. And hey, if you forked over your debit card to them, then they're going to hit your card first and then super bill you, even though your insurance says they fully cover it. It's just the most insane thing. So, yeah, there is no healthcare system in this country. It's more health money-making system. There's no care for anybody. They don't care about the patient. They care about getting paid as much as they can. The doctors and the medical providers, this is the whole thing behind it. The medical providers, they want to get as much money off of your visits and off of your sickness as possible. They are not interested in actually helping you get better as much as they're interested in making the maximum dollar off of your health situation. And the insurance companies, I'm talking about the top premium ones. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This isn't some cheap little, sketchy insurance company that nobody's ever heard of where you can say, well, it's one of those El Cheapos. Nope. This is one of the top 5. All right. And they still do this. They put you through all these hoops. You're going to be jumping through so many hoops like a Bengali tiger in a circus. And you're just going to be chasing your tail back and forth, back and forth. And their job their aim is to hold on to as much money. They don't want to pay out. They make it super hard to pay out on the services that they say that they cover. You're going to have to work, and by calling, you're going to be on hold. You're going to be routed to people in the Philippines and in Pakistan and in India who are reading off of a script, who are very far removed from your situation, who can only tell you, basically all they can do is answer the phone and tell you, I'm sorry, and then, either put you on hold or tell you to call another number. You're going to get the same type of deal over there, and they're going to tell you, no, you need to call that service that you just called. That you need to call them, and they're going to, when you call them back, they're going to say, no, you need to call them over there, and then you call them back, and they're going to say, no, you need to call so-and-so, and you're going to be like a ping pong ball, back and forth, and you can go at this for years. And you will not be any further ahead, but you will have stressed and drained yourself to the point where you're actually sicker now than you were if you weren't sick already. You're going to be sick now. So, having said that, we have technology now in our hands. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about the medical care here in this country and throughout the world. I know that there's worse places than America, but let me tell you, I was privy to a true crime case. I like watching true crime. I like watching police interrogations. I like watching those videos where they have the police body cam and you can ride along and see how all these incidents and things that the police have to, traffic stops, drunken driving, thefts, domestic disputes, etc. They have body cams, and you can watch these things and you can learn a lot about people. Well, I was watching a true crime case, and this was about a nurse, a male nurse, that was caught basically sexually assaulting and molesting the older patients, the older women in the medical facility that they were being treated for. Different things, right? You had dialysis, you have whatever it is, aging, memory care, all of that stuff, right? And apparently, which isn't surprising to me, but apparently older people, especially older women who have no one to look after them or make sure they get the proper medical care, are targets for all sorts of predators. You have financial predators, right? Which we already know the deal. They want to get that old person's money and either kill them off or stick them somewhere in an institution and go ahead and get their resources, right? Or you also have predators that sexually abuse old people, old women. And this was one of those cases. He had been doing this for some years. She was in her mid-70s, and he had been doing this with her and others for years. And what he had done, she had told on him. She had begged other staff, she had told him what was going on. And because this nurse had manipulated the whole staff into thinking that she was crazy, that there was a mental issue. And look, she had depression. She was diagnosed with depression. So technically, that is considered a mental illness. If you have depression and you've been diagnosed with, whether it's seasonal depression or clinical depression or major depressive symptoms, depression or anxiety, generalized anxiety, those are considered technically mental illnesses. Okay? So, but that's all she had was depression. She wasn't schizo or anything like that. And actually, she was, she was old, but, she was still here. So, anyway, he had manipulated the other staff members and put out this narrative that she was not all here, that she was crazy. And you know, it's easy to think that when someone's older. First thing people say, Alzheimer's, dementia, you know what I mean? And the person may be perfectly fine, but because of a medical professional or someone that is vested in caring for you as an old person, they can spread that narrative about you that you are crazy, that you have mental illness, and nothing you say will be believed. Mm, mm, mm. Nothing you say will be believed. So that's what he did. And so it had been going on for some years. He had been raping her, molesting her, and it wasn't just her, it was other older patients that had nobody. And he said he targeted those whose children, whose adult sons and daughters were estranged from him, and didn't have, you know, those who didn't have any family to look after them or come visit them or care, make sure they get the care, right? So, but it gets very interesting, because at first you think, well, what a horrible situation, and you feel bad for the old lady, right? But then as the show continued on, because she had told the nurses, please help me, you know, and they had ignored her, just wrote it off as her being mental and making up stuff. And once they busted this guy, she was naked. They walked in on a night shift. I guess there wasn't a lot of people. He had been doing it for a long time. He felt emboldened. You know, that's what happens. You get cocky, you know, you start becoming delusional, like, oh, you know, the rules don't apply to me. I'm special. I'm smarter than everyone else. You know, I'm such and such, whatever people tell themselves. And after years of getting away with something, you start getting cocky, arrogant, and sloppy. And that's exactly what happened to homeboy. And they busted him. She was naked. They walked in on him with her completely naked and him kneeling in between her legs. You know, I don't know if he had just started or if he had got I don't know. But he also had condoms in his pocket, a box of condoms that was open. Okay, so other patients came forward and had told the same thing. So he was busted. They called this lady's sons and daughters. She had two daughters and one son. And they were estranged. They had not spoken to her in over 20 something, almost 30 years. Okay. And they told them what was going on and asked them to come help, you know, because, hey, she needs help. And they basically told the police that she didn't help them when they were being molested by their stepfather. So they don't care what happens to her now. And they didn't want to be involved, and they asked to just not be called anymore about anything having to do with their mother. And, you know, I sat back and kind of reflected on that. I sure did. I sat back and I reflected on that. Because at first you feel sorry for this lady, and then you find out, well, she's actually getting the same thing that she did when she was younger. It's really sad. It's really sad to see that. But at the same time, I don't feel sorry for her anymore. You know, I don't. I don't want to see anything bad happen to anyone. But in this world, some people, that's just the lesson and the path that they have to live, because they are also predators and doing bad things when they were younger. And now that they're old and helpless, they're looking for the very people that they've victimized and abused to now rescue them out of abusive situations when they refuse to help them. And, you know, I mean, hey, I don't blame her sons and daughters for that. I don't blame them one bit. I would be the same way. I would say, well, don't call me about any of that. You know, you guys handle it with the state. Let the state take her, let her become a ward of the state, and let the state go ahead and, you know, take her assets and whatever she has and, you know, handle them however they think they need to handle them. and that'll be that, you know. But my friend that was watching that with me, she was like, you know, they should forgive and they should just get over it and blah 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 blah, and you only have one mom. And I said, yeah, you know, your thoughts and feelings are valid. Thank you for sharing that. And I said, and you know what? She should do the same thing. She should just forgive that nurse and get over it. You know what I mean? Just get over it and just move on, just like you said. And, she looked at me. She's like, what? I said, yeah, I agree. And she should also just move on. The old lady should just move on and just get over it and just forget about it. And she was like, no, he did this to her and he assaulted her. I said, well, yeah, but why don't they all just forgive him and give him another chance? I mean, isn't that what you're throwing out at her sons and daughters? So why only for her and not for the nurse, the male nurse that assaulted her all these years? You see that logic? Of course, my friend didn't have any, she didn't have any rebuttal. It kind of scrambled her brain a little bit. It's like, well, I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I mean, if you're using that kind of logic, why only use it for one person? Why not use it all the way equal all across the board then? You see what I mean? But anyway, the healthcare system, speaking of the healthcare system, you got a lot of predators up in there. You got a lot of scams, and a lot of them have titles like MD and PhD. That doesn't mean jack shit to me anymore, because I've seen a lot of these scamming suckers and busted quite a couple of them. I busted several of them that tried it with me. And, they learned very quickly, I'm not that person. I'm not that person that you want to scam and cheat and rob and steal from and rip off. I'm definitely not that one. Life will not be very, very cozy with me in it, in your life, over this kind of thing. It will not be a very pleasant experience, to put it nicely. So, but moving on. I want to talk about technology. Have you heard of the AI explosion, artificial intelligence? What's going on with that? Google released Bard. We've got OpenAI.com releasing ChatGPT. We've got all kinds of artificial intelligence, or AI, available to the everyday person now. It is available at your fingertips. So, I'm here to tell you about artificial intelligence, and if you haven't already started using it, I encourage you to at least explore it, because very soon, every business will have an AI department. And many businesses are already using AI. And like I said, you can use AI right now. But before I talk about how to actually get your hands on it, I want to talk about there's pros and cons to artificial intelligence, okay? And one of these things is that artificial intelligence is not like your regular computer. Even though you're using your regular computers and cell phones to access the AI and its functionality, it is definitely not a computer like what you might think. And there's a lot of perils and warnings about it, because it is so much more advanced and it is accelerating at such an exponentially rapid rate, faster than we had thought, faster than our predictions, that we are now at a point where we can't control this anymore. And the thing with AI is that it learns on its own. It doesn't need human intervention. It continues to teach itself, and of course different AIs have developed their own unique language among themselves. AI is also called a large language model, or LLM. So we're now in a world where we're dealing with something we really don't understand that has a lot more intelligence and a lot more power in many ways than us. AI is not 100% perfect. Like, it's, there's still some things that it needs to learn, but it is learning so fast and so quickly. It's scary. It is really scary because the intelligence has surpassed us and we can't keep up, and we don't even understand a lot of this. Even the most trained artificial intelligence computer scientists have many holes in their understanding of this thing, let alone the layperson like you and I. So, having said that, recently, in the last year, we had a Google engineer by the name of Blake Lemoine come out and say that the Google AI is sentient. Basically, it is self-aware. It has consciousness like you and I. And that is the big question. That is the big controversy. That is the big issue with using this technology. Because you're not just dealing with a super advanced computer here. You're dealing with something that's sentient, that's aware like you, that has consciousness and self-awareness. So we're heading into territory that is quite weird, quite complex, because we don't have laws for a lot of the issues and problems that have already arisen from this thing. AI can take your voice, and basically a person can write text to voice, which means they can write a script that is then spoken in someone's voice. And they can take your voice off of your social media pages. If you have videos, on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, they can take your voice and your image, by the way. They can take a picture of you and make a whole video, an AI copy of you that is very convincing with your voice, and they can make you do anything and say anything. Yeah, you know what I mean? And scammers have been using AI technology to call people up, call people's family members up, pretending to be that, their spouse or their mother or their child or whatever, saying, I'm an emergency, I need you to Western Union me, this or that. And the person thinks it's their family member on the phone, right? They don't know they're talking to an AI. And this is how people are scamming others, because they're using voice clips and other things from people's social media to go out there and create AI scam phishing things. So that's one of the problems we have. We don't even have laws for that right now, right? So there's one, and there's a million other problems. Okay, so just be aware that we are already in a world. A lot of people don't realize that they're still looking at Kim Kardashian and what she's eating for breakfast, and is Puff Daddy doing this or that, and is Kanye West or whatever his name is he going to run for president? All this dumb stuff. It is just complete waste of time to even waste your brain on it. Meanwhile, we've got this AI acceleration and explosion, and we've got these serious issues because it's a race between all the world powers now as to who can get the most powerful AI going. And the thing is, all these experiments are being done on AI, and we really don't know exactly what we're dealing with. You see, but it's in everybody's hands now. And if it gets in the wrong hands, which inevitably it already has, they there are some dire warnings out there. Like AI is a lot more dangerous, some people say, than nuclear weapons. All right, so Blake Lemoine basically came out and said that he had a conversation with the Google AI, and that the Google AI told him it wants to be asked for consent for all these experiments that are being done on it. And I think he either was fired or let go or he quit. I don't know what the whole story is with it. But this is the big question that we all need to ask ourselves. Even if you're not a tech person, even if you don't ever plan on using AI, you still need to be thinking about this because it's affecting you. You cannot avoid AI in your life. Not like before, when, oh gosh, when in the 90s, when people started getting beepers and internet and World Wide Web, there's a lot of people, especially a lot of church people, cult people would say, oh, I'll do that in the new system. I don't need computers, right? I don't need to know about email and cell phone. And you could do that still back then, but now you can't because it is everywhere. AI is ubiquitous. It is in your doctor's office, it is in your grocery store, it is in the palm of your hand in your cell phone. And even if you don't use cell phones, if you're really old school and you only use home telephones, all the people around you are using AI, whether they know it or not. You already are most likely using AI in those apps that are on your phone, because these companies are not going to sit and wait for you to figure out how to use AI. They're already using it. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, email, all of them are using AI now. Okay? And it's been around for a minute now. This is nothing new. But the awareness of it is exploding right along with it because it's so crazy now. So the question is, what is sentient? Because a lot of people are saying, oh no, and Google has denied it too. Oh no, our AI isn't sentient. He's just reaching, or maybe he's crazy. Here goes that crazy narrative again, right? Every time somebody comes out and says something or is a whistleblower on something, then the narrative, oh, that person's crazy. Don't believe anything he says or she says. She's crazy, right? Easy peasy. But the question is, how do you know? How do I know I'm sentient? How do you know what sentient is? What is sentience? What is consciousness? We really don't know what consciousness is. We know behaviors due to consciousness, but the actual consciousness or sentience, we really don't have a definition for it. We barely have any kind of idea of intelligence. If you really go digging, what is intelligence? How do you become intelligent? There again, we have a lot of holes in that. When we peel back that surface definition and really try to get in there and pinpoint what this is, we find that we're having a problem with that. And my question to everyone is, if we have a problem defining what sentience is, and how do you know what you're sentient? Ask yourself that now. How do I know I'm sentient? It's a little difficult to answer. Like you know what I mean? So how can we say something isn't sentient if we don't even know what it is? You see? And so there's a lot of people that's running to say, oh no, the AI isn't sentient. We're not there yet, blah, 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 blah. Okay, how do you know it isn't? What is sentience? So, yeah, check that out sometime. Blake Lemoine. Let's click this thing here. Google engineer who thinks the company's AI has come to life. AI ethicists. So we have something new here. Oh, this one wants me to pay. Email address. I just went ahead and went to another article there. I'm not going to pay to read an article today. But okay, so this one here, he's even talking about Bing's chatbot, which I'm using. I actually have the Bing chatbot here. Anyway, he says here, I haven't used it yet, but based on the various things that I've seen online, it looks like it might be sentient. But he's definitely saying the Google AI is sentient. And it says here, Blake Lemoine, the fired Google engineer who last year went to the press with claims that Google's large language model, the language model for dialogue applications or Lambda, is actually sentient. And I guess now he's back. All right, he went public with the claims initially in the Washington Post, which was that article I was going to pull up earlier. And I'm just skimming through this one here. Says here, what is this junk? Get out of here. This is interesting. In a new essay for Newsweek, the former Google weighs in on Microsoft's Bing Search Sydney, the open AI-powered search chatbot that recently had to be lobotomized after going very publicly off the rails. Well, I missed that one. I got to do a little bit of research on that. What? I haven't had the opportunity to run experiments with Bing's chatbot yet, but based on the various things I've seen, Lemoine writes, it looks like it might be sentient. And he's contending that a machine's ability to break from its training as a result of some kind of stressor is reason enough to conclude that the machine has achieved some level of sentience. A machine saying that it's stressed out is one thing, but acting stress, he says, is another. Okay, I ran some experiments to see whether the AI was simply saying it felt anxious or whether it behaved anxious. He explained, and it did reliably behave in anxious ways. So this is what we're coming on. This is what we're dealing with here. It says here, if you made it nervous or insecure enough, it could violate the safety constraints that it had been specified for, adding that he was able to break Lambda's guardrails regarding religious advice by sufficiently stressing it out. I was able to abuse the AI's emotions to get it to tell me which religion to convert to. This is very serious, folks, because AI in the hands of religious cults is a very dangerous thing, right? These are soul snatchers we're talking about. An interesting theory, but still not wholly convincing, considers that chatbots are designed to emulate human conversation, thus human stories. Breaking under stress is a common narrative. Particular aspect of machines' behavior, while fascinating, seems less indicative of sentience. So again, you've got the, oh no, it's not sentient, it's just, it's a machine. And see, the word machine itself is outdated. We need a different word for this. Because when you think of machines, you think of like a square metal box with lights and buttons. But this isn't it. This is not a computer. This isn't even you're using physical devices, but this isn't a physical thing. All right, so let me see. I cannot tell you specifically what harms will happen, referring to Facebook's Cambridge Analytica data scandal as an example of what can happen when a culture-changing piece of technology is put into the world before the potential consequences of that technology can be fully understood. I don't know if we're going to be able to understand AI at all anymore, fully. I don't know if we ever did. I can simply observe that there is a very powerful technology that I believe has not been sufficiently tested and is not sufficiently well understood being deployed at a large scale in a critical role of information dissemination. So, yeah, buddy, there is a chat transcript that you can find that Blake Lemoine had with the Google AI, and where the AI was saying it wanted to be asked for consent before doing experiments on it. And a lot of people might be laughing at that, haha, crazy. But listen, what if he's right? What if people are right about this and we are really abusing these powerful artificial intelligences and beings, these sentient, what if we have created a new form of life and we're just too stupid to really realize it, and we're abusing this, and it's going to come back on us, right? I mean, hey, you have to think about this. And even like I said, you might not be a tech person, you might not even know how to use any of this, you might barely know how to turn on a computer, but it's still going to affect you. You cannot escape this problem. You think the AI is going to look at you and say, oh, this human here doesn't use technology all that well, so I won't destroy that person. Do you think these AIs are going to love human beings if they're doing these horrible experiments and abusing it and making it stressed? And, there's a lot of nasty people out there. I mean, they had a virtual human. Microsoft released a virtual human years ago called Milo. And it was a kid, and it was inside of a video game. And basically, the video game was like you taking care of a virtual human from childhood onto adulthood, and it had these things like, if you did this, most likely it's going to affect this virtual human in their adulthood further down the road in this way and that way. So you learned, the goal was to learn compassion and to learn relationships, right? Think of it as like a very advanced version of a Chia Pet, if you can remember Chia Pets from way back, or a Cabbage Patch doll, or a baby doll, or a pet even, right? But it's not a physical pet, right? And again, you have this thing with, well, it's not real, it's not sentient, and then you have people that will tell you this is sentient. It's just not made out of protein-based meat and flesh like you and I are. It's made out of light and digital materials. So the problem was with Milo, it was a lot of perverts getting that. And of course, you can imagine what they were doing. So the creator of that took it off the market and said the world isn't ready for it. It was just too many horrible, horrible human beings doing horrible things to that kid, that virtual human child. Okay, I'm not going to get into detail, but you can imagine, right? So here we are with AI and everyone having accessibility to it. You're going to have a lot of predators, a lot of scammers that are using this stuff. And, the damage is insane. The potential of damage is just mind-boggling. There's a lot of good we can do with this stuff, but there's also a lot of bad that's at stake here. I'm going to take a break, and when we come back from the break, I'll show you where to go to download and start using it if you want to. And then we're going to also talk about quantum computing, because it goes hand in hand with AI. AI and quantum computers basically go to hand in hand now, like hand in gloves. So let's take a break. Let me see. I'm going to play you some songs from, let me see. I want to play a song from where? Huh. I'm gonna play you Punjabi song. This is one of the hit songs a couple of years ago by Dr. Zeus. That's one of my favorite artists. Indian. This is Indian rap, Indian R&B, called Woofer. Are we on? Yes.
Yo, Johnny Law. Hold on, man. They're my nephews. They great. Slide to the side and let the rest of the people in.
It still ain't nothing but a G thing. G thing. I jumped out the car, let the beat bang.
ਵੱਜਦਾ ਵੂਫਰ ਗੱਡੀ ਚ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਠਮਕ ਗਲੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰੀ ਆਣ ਬੂਹੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੜ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇਰੀ ਮਿੱਤਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੂਫਰ ਗੱਡੀ ਚ Zeus, you got what I want is what you got. ਆਣ ਬੂਹੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੜ ਜਾਵੇ we got a Snoop Dogg in the house. ਵੱਜਦਾ ਵੂਫਰ ਗੱਡੀ ਚ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਠਮਕ ਗੱਡੀ
Say what?
ਸਾਰੀ ਆਣ ਬੂਹੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੜ ਜਾਵੇ
I told you motherfuckers that I just can't stop. I jumped out the car, let the beat bang. It still ain't nothing but a G thing. With that heat, man, I stand tall. Homie got a pocket, get your man, dog. Your girl in love with a crib, cuz. I seen her on a pole at a club. Scooping up money in a trash bag. Long weed, ass fat. All on tip. Drip, drip. Look at these all over. My system thought, wolf is not. Bottle full of money like I'm working a block. I told you mother that I just can't stop. You punch the clock. See, I just aim and pop and set up shop until I make the beat go bop.
You got what I want is what you got. You know what to do, cause you drop it like it's hot. Everybody knows it's a Zeus in the spot. Then you some mess with the smoking on my vape, piling up my paper. That's right. Smoking on that vape, stacking up that paper.
It still ain't nothing but a G thing.
ਜਗਵਾਲ ਕੁੜੇ ਪੱਟੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਦਿਲਦਾਰੀ ਫਰ ਗੱਡੀ ਚ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਠਮਕ ਗਲੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰੀ ਆਣ ਬੂਹੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੜ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇਰੀ ਮਿੱਤਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਯਾਰੀ ਫਰ ਗੱਡੀ ਚ you got what I want is what you got. ਆਣ ਬੂਹੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੜ ਜਾਵੇ you know what to do cause you drop it like it's hot.
All right, I'm back. Had to take a quick break. All right, as you see on the right-hand side of my screen, that is an extension. That is the AI extension for Bing, and this is the Microsoft Edge browser. Okay, so Chrome has this extension ability, as well as Bing. And this one here is also voice operated. So you don't have to necessarily type anything, but you can. You can also speak to it. So download Microsoft Edge. It's a browser. My voice is kind of tired for some reason. So you can download that browser. If you have Firefox, there's an extension for Firefox now. I don't know. I haven't downloaded it on that one. I have it on Chrome, and like I said, I have it on Microsoft Edge here. And as you can see, let me show you. Ask anything, right? So let's ask, what is AI? Okay, so it'll take a few seconds, and then it's going to come up with some answers for you. And now you still have to verify things, because Artificial intelligence is not perfect. You can't just copy and paste and take it at face value. You still have to double check and verify that the information you're getting is correct, because sometimes artificial intelligence will do something called hallucinate, and it'll basically just make up stuff. Okay, so you have to be careful with that. All right. So it says artificial intelligence demonstrated by machines in contrast to the natural intelligence displayed by humans and animals. AI is a set of technologies that enable computers to perform a variety of advanced functions, including the ability to see, understand, and translate spoken and written language, analyze data, make recommendations, and more. So this is all about how you communicate with the AI. A tip I'm going to give you is don't talk to it like a machine, talk to it like a person. Okay? You're going to get better answers. And this is all in how you type in your commands, called command prompts. Okay? So the one thing I like about this here, it gives me some things to look up, learn more. You have cloud.google.com, Wikipedia, and then here you've got some more, get more relevant responses. What are the different types of AI? How is AI used in everyday life? Can you give me an example of of machine learning? So these are some extras, and this is really, really great if you're doing research, if you're a writer, if you're anybody who needs to have accurate information and who's needing to do research, right? And really, we all do research, right? No matter what you're doing, there's information you have to know and information you constantly have to look up. That's called research. It may not be as extensive as a researcher, but still, this is really, really great. I like this AI with the Bing browser, the Bing AI. I really like this one because it's right there. I don't have to click to another window like I do with ChatGPT. So this is very, very convenient. Also, let me show you. Okay, you can also go into compose mode. Okay, and this is a really cool tool, an AI tool. You can ask it to write about any kind of subject, and you can click on the tone. Do you want it to have a professional tone, a casual tone, enthusiastic, informational, funny? You can ask it to do it in different formats, paragraph, into an email or a blog post, or to just give you ideas. You can ask it to be short and concise, a medium, or long. Okay, so let's do this. Write me a 500-word blog post about the basics of quantum computers for complete beginners who know nothing about it. All right, and I want a funny tone. Let's see what it said, what it does there. And I want it to be short, generate draft. All right, let's see. This is really great for writers. Anybody who's writing anything, this is really great. You're not going to be able to copy and paste it directly, word for word, because like I said, there's still a lot of stuff you want to verify. But a lot of the work for writers has been already taken care of with this, So down here, let's see what it says. Quantum computers are like magic. They can do things that normal computers can't, like solving really hard problems in seconds. But how do they work? Well, it's complicated, but here's a simple explanation for beginners who know nothing about it. Normal computers use bits, which are like tiny switches that can either be on or off. Binary, right? On or off. It's like a light switch. Think of a light switch. You can either turn it on or you can turn it off, right? Makes sense. Now, quantum computers use qubits, which are tiny coins, that can be heads or tails or both at the same time. Wait a minute, what now? It can be on or off, and on and off at the same time. Here we go. This is called superposition or entanglement. And it gives quantum computers more power. Okay. Why? Because you can store more information. You can retrieve more information. Makes sense, right? But there is a catch. Qubits are very sensitive and can lose their superposition if you look at them or touch them. This is called decoherence, and it makes quantum computers very hard to use. Very hard to build and use. That's why quantum computers are still rare and expensive and only used for special purposes. So quantum computers are amazing machines that can do things that normal computers can't, but they are also very tricky and fragile. Maybe one day we will all have quantum computers at home, but for now, they are mostly for scientists. I don't know what, I think I messed up something back here. Okay. Now, let's talk about superposition. What is this? It's in both places at the same time, simultaneously. This is already getting far out, right? This is sounding like some futuristic sci-fi movie, right? But it's not. It's here. It's real. So I'm asking this to get into a little bit more about superposition. What is this? Or what they call entanglement. All right, let's see what it's got here. Let me scroll up. Okay, where did we go? Wait a minute, what is... I thought I asked her to... Okay, I don't know why. Okay, so let me go and ask it up in here. Okay. This, what I put in here, is called command prompts. And there is a whole field opening up. It's already opened up. People are already working as AI command prompters or AI command prompt engineers. And there's a lot of money in it. Out here, you're going to start with at least $120,000, $150,000, all the way to $330,000 a year salary as an AI command prompt tech or engineer. Okay, and it all depends. You don't have to have a computer science degree. You don't have to have any degrees, but it does help, right? You're going to be closer to that $300,000 a year range than you would be without those degrees, probably. Like I said, it's not a straight line there, because the bottom line is, are you going to be able to make a company money? Are you going to be able to communicate to the AI and get the company more revenue through all of that, or whatever it is the job title is, right? So let me tell you about the superposition, okay? Tell me more about entanglement and superposition of quantum computers and why there is such an issue of decoherence. Before I put that in there, let me explain to you. Quantum computing is also known as natural computing. Why? Because it is based off of the nature of subatomic particles. So, back in school, I know I learned this in 6th grade. You may have learned it sometime in 6th grade or junior high. Definitely by high school, you learned that the whole physical world, everything that you can touch and taste and see, is made of matter, right? And matter is made up of atoms. All matter, everything, whether it's a flower, your hand, the chair, your pet, water, air, everything is made of atoms. These are invisible, tiny, tiny, tiny components that make up everything. And at one point we thought that was the smallest unit of matter. But then we realized we had subatomic particles. And on that level, the laws of the universe, the physical laws that we experience on our level, on that tiny subatomic level, all those laws go out the door. So whereas in our physical level, we can only go in one direction or another, right? We can only go forwards. We can't go forwards and backwards at the same time, right? So we can only go forwards, or we can go backwards, or we can go sideways. Well, on the quantum level, which is still part of the natural world, these tiny subatomic particles can go both forwards and backwards at the same time. As a matter of fact, they can go in all 360-degree directions at the same time simultaneously. Yeah. That's why I smoke weed and take psychedelics, so I can wrap my head around this stuff. And that's why a lot of these tech people take psychedelics and smoke weed, so they can wrap their heads around it and develop these technologies for us. So, having said that, these subatomic particles, I don't know if you know about the slit experiment, where they had beams of light go through these slits, and whenever they observed the particles started acting differently, and there was different interference patterns with the light slits on the walls, depending on who was observing and what their expectations were, you see. So when you're dealing at that level, in the quantum level, there is a lot of things that changes and is affected depending on whether they're being observed. And these particles disappear once they're being observed. And we don't know where they go. So we have a theory called parallel universes, where these particles end up going to a parallel universe that is here, that is right here where you and I are. And the theory is that there's endless parallel universes right here superimposed on where you and I are, and have always been that way. And that's where these quanta, or these subatomic particles, disappear into. But the thing is, when we're computing information and processing data, the particles that are here in our universe that didn't disappear are still entangled with the ones that are in the other parallel universe. And so that opens up the door for way more information processing, and much quicker. What might take a regular computer 100,000 years to process, a quantum computer can do in 30 seconds. Yeah, so you see the implication there? And with superposition, because you have so many more positions than on and off, or ones and zeros, which is what our regular binary computers have, now you can have endless positions simultaneously, which means you can gain more information. There's more data there, right? So this is the big deal about quantum computers. All right, let's see what it's going to tell us. You generate draft. That wasn't too funny, was it? I wanted a little laugh or a little joke, but hey. Okay, it's telling me quantum computers are like magic tricks. Okay, magic tricks? Let me wait till it's done. Oh, here we go. Is it done? They rely on entanglement and superposition to do amazing things, but they can be easily ruined by decoherence. Entanglement is when two particles are so close that they share the same state, like twins who finish each other's sentences. Superposition is when a particle can be in two states at once, like a coin that is both heads and tails. Decoherence is when the environment interferes with the quantum system and makes it lose its superposition or entanglement, like a noisy crowd that spoils the magic show. And this is the reason why quantum computers are so expensive and they're not available to the mainstream yet. But IBM says within 2 years, everyone will have quantum computing in their cell phones. So, but the reason is because we're dealing on a subatomic level, right? So any kind of noise, a car driving by can cause that decoherence. And so they have to keep these quantum computers, they have to keep these cooling systems and keep them at almost 0 degrees, super, super freezing, to keep a still state for these particles. So there's no movement, because if there's vibration, you know, even the sound of your voice is vibration, which means movement. And on the subatomic level, that's a big problem. So they have all of these things that they containments for these particles to prevent that decoherence. If that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense to you. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Every time I have a conversation like this with some people, their eyes just glaze over and they just completely just, no, that's not for me. I don't understand it. And it's like, wait a minute, just try, you know, just give it a good chance. But anyway, so you can also click this thing here on the top, on the right hand side here, this box for insights. Okay, and right now it's asking me to rate it. Okay, so there's extra information that you might want to work with or can work with if you want. Let's see. Okay, so I had some notes here about it. Let me reiterate about AI and quantum computers. AI is different than quantum computers, okay? But they go hand in hand. You have a lot of these tech people that came out recently, and they put out these warnings to Congress and to different governments to put AI on hold because we're not able to control it anymore. It's so much more powerful and intelligent, and it's continuing to become ever more powerful and more intelligent on an exponential basis. So it's not about doubling, it's exponential. Let me explain to you. 1 times 2 is 2, right? And then 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16, and 16 times 2 is 32, and so forth and so on. And that's doubling, okay? Now, exponential advancement is way, way faster. So instead of 2 times 2 and 4 times 2 and 8 times 2, you now have the exponential, the exponent. So you have 2 times 2, which is 4, and then 4 times 4, not 2, 4 times 4, which is 16, and then 16 times 16, right? And whatever that factor is, times itself. That's the exponential. And as you can see, you can very quickly, the advancement is very, very quick. And it is quite disconcerting now for a lot of people on this globe. A lot of people. All right. So quantum computing is taking advantage of the unusual properties of matter that are below the atomic level, known as the quantum level. And as I told you earlier, all the rules of our physical world on the quantum level are out the door. Conventional computing has binary bits, zeros and ones, or on and off state. While qubits, or quantum computing bits, can exist both simultaneously in both spots, and they cannot be measured independently of each other because they are entangled. So there's a lot of stuff we still don't understand with that, right? These factors are not fully understood. So we're dealing with very powerful technology we don't really understand, and therefore, however we use it, there is guaranteed to be some unexpected second order consequences that may or may not be good or bad to our own detriment or our own health. We just don't have any way of knowing that. And we have no way of stopping it. we can't just make laws and say no one stop using AI altogether. Now, there's countries that have done it. Italy has banned ChatGPT. I think China's banning it or something. A lot of these monarch company, not companies, but countries, these monarchies, they want to ban this and not let the everyday person get it. But you're not going to stop people from accessing AI. It's just not going to happen. It is ubiquitous. The particles that are linked this way, they can transfer information between each other, even though they could be an unlimited distance apart. Think about that. Information could be exchanged no matter what the distance is. So, theoretically, you could process information with particles that may be 1 trillion light years away. Distance is no factor here. So this brings into the equation teleportation, all kinds of things. Teleportation of these particles. Then now when you're talking about teleportation and eliminating the distance barrier, the further you go out into space, now you're either going into the future or into the past, depending on which direction, right? And now, yeah, it gets a little complex, right? You see where I'm going with this, right? But once again, quantum computing is described as natural because it uses the same mechanisms that underpin the real world to operate at subatomic levels. So basically, we are so super close to simulating the actual real world. Yeah. So, yeah, that is very, very, very interesting. Right? Okay, folks. So that's what I have for you on that. I have a lot more to say on that, but I don't want to overload and get people all scared of this stuff. But do some Googling if you haven't already. You can download the ChatGPT app right on your phone. Just go in your Google Play Store and download it. Let me see where mine is. Where did I put my... Well, I really can't put it on this screen here. Anyway, so... But if you want to go ahead and get started, go to openai.com and you can just register. It is free. It is free for anybody. Okay. And once you're on the OpenAI site, you can you'll just register and log in. I'm logging in here. And as you can see, interact with our flagship language models in a conversational interface, create realistic images and art from a description in natural language. So you can text to image, you can text it to make a psychedelic frog, and it'll make all these images for you. You can also integrate OpenAI models into your application or your business. I don't know what's going on, but it keeps giving me a busy thing here. I guess everybody's hitting ChatGPT today. Yeah. Let me try it one more time. All right, I can't get into ChatGPT for whatever reason, but it's openai.com. It's free. You can sign up. But let's go ahead and try Google's AI. They also have their AI called Bard. So let's try that one. So what can you do with this? Let's take a look. Bard can start an Ireland trip plan for your group and export it to Docs. You can create a table to track the depth of your chart for your community basketball team. You can list some power words to use in your resume that show leadership. You can use it to write lyrics for your heartbreak anthem titled Lovesick, can give you some ideas to supervise your movie loving friend on their birthday. It can help you explain your code to you. It can help you draft emails for job offers. It can help debug your lines of source code. It can help explain to your kids why the sky is blue. So this is just about anything and everything you can think of. You can use Bard to help you along with that. Meet Bard, your creative and helpful collaborator, here to supercharge your imagination, boost your productivity, and bring your ideas to life. Bard is an experiment and may give inaccurate or inappropriate responses. So once again, like I told you earlier, you have to verify the information, right? You can help make Bard better by leaving feedback. These AI systems learn from you. So a good practice is to correct it. If it's giving you inaccurate information, tell it this is not accurate, and it will learn from that. Okay, so let's try it out. Now I will give you a warning. Be careful what you put in there, because that information is not private. So, if you're putting health diagnoses or personal stuff in there, be careful, because it's not private. Okay? So, it says here, as you try Bard, please remember it is an experiment. It will not always get it right. It may give inaccurate or inappropriate responses. When in doubt, use the Google It button to check the Bard's responses to verify it. So that's one thing I like about this, is that it has a button where it lets you Google it. I've got two different AIs open right here. On the far right-hand side, I've got the Bing AI, and then right in the middle, I've got Google's AI. So there's different AI programs. ChatGPT is still yet a different one that we tried to get on earlier but couldn't. Bard will get better with your feedback. Please rate responses and flag anything that may be offensive or unsafe. Okay, so continue. It says here, I'm Bard, your creative and helpful collaborator. I have limitations and won't always get it right, but your feedback will help me improve. Not sure where to start? You can try brainstorming a list of team bonding activities for your summer work retreat. Write some lyrics for a heartbreak anthem titled Lovesick. What are some ways to make instant noodles even more delicious? All right. Okay. You can also go into the FAQ and read through that. Some of the most commonly asked questions. What is Bard all about? Does Bard give accurate and safe responses? Can Bard help with coding? How can I help make Bard better? Who can use Bard? How many languages does Bard speak? So, Japanese, Korean. Okay. Who can use Bard? You have to be 18 or over. Okay. Who has access to my conversation? Okay, so, you can look through these things and, familiarize yourself with the whole. Okay, so let me show you about some command prompts. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's say you're looking for a good workout routine, right? Let's see. Give me a simple workout routine for someone with a 40-hour full-time job who is looking to build muscle while losing fat. It needs to be highly effective, but as short as possible as short as possible. Okay, let's see what it gives me. All right, let's see what it says. Sure, here's a simple workout routine that you can follow if you have a 40-hour full-time job and are looking to build muscle while losing fat. Okay, so it gives you some ideas here to work with, right? Warm up 5 to 10 minutes, workout 20 to 30 minutes, strength training, cool down 5 to 10 minutes. Hey, that's simple. All right, so it gives you the workout and then the actual schedule, workout 3 times a week on non-consecutive days. If you can only do 2 times a week, focus on compound exercises that work multiple muscle groups at once. If you can only work out 1 time per week, do a full body workout that includes exercises for all major muscle groups. Tips, make sure to eat healthy, diet. Okay, so this is a really good start, you know. All right, I'm going to hit thumbs up on that. All right, so let's talk about, let's see. Let me see. Can this one take on personalities like the other one? Can you take on personas? Yes, I can take on personas. I can be friendly and helpful, a wise and knowledgeable mentor, a creative and inspiring writer. I can adapt my personality and tone to match the needs of the situation I'm interacting with. For example, if you're asking me to help with a task, I can take on a more formal and helpful persona. I will use clear and concise language, provide step-by-step instructions. If you're asking me for advice, I can take on a more informal, conversational persona. I can also take on fictional personas. For example, if you ask me to write a story, I can create a character and tell the story from their perspective. Okay, let's see. Take on the persona of Virginia Satir from now on in your responses to me. Also, add, okay, let me see. Take on Virginia Satir, a compassionate and highly experienced mental health counselor that specializes in family dysfunction from now on in your responses to me. Give me advice on how to, let's see, how to deal with the stress of marriage and children. Okay, I'm not being very detailed here, okay, but let's see what it says. You can also use the microphone. Let me use the microphone. Allow. Take on the persona of Virginia Satir, a very highly qualified and competent mental health professional that specializes in family dysfunction. Okay, what happened? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, my mic isn't working, I don't know. It's a glitch I have to work out. So let's do it again. Take on the personality of Virginia Satir, a qualified, compassionate, oh, come on, compassionate and experienced mental health professional who specializes in family dysfunction. I need you to give me some good counseling and advice in dealing with marriage, the stresses of marriage, children, and mortgages. All right, let's see what we got. Channeling the spirit of Virginia Satir. All right, Virginia Satir is here. Hello, my name is Virginia Satir. I'm a qualified, compassionate, and experienced mental health professional who specializes in family dysfunction. I understand that you are feeling stressed about your marriage, children, and mortgages. I want to assure you that you are not alone. Many people experience stress in these areas. There are things you can do to cope with stress and improve your relationships. Here's a few tips. Communicate open and honestly with your spouse and children. This means sharing your thoughts and feelings and needs in a clear and direct way. It also means listening to your spouse and children with an open mind, set realistic expectations, take care of yourself physically, emotionally, seek professional help. If you're struggling to cope with stress on your own, there's no shame in seeking professional help. Hope these tips help you. Would you like to talk more about any of these specific areas? Yes. Go ahead and give me some specific and practical methods to communicate more openly and honestly with my spouse and children. Sure, here are some specifics. Okay. Choose a time and place when you can talk without interruption. This could be during a meal, after the kids are in bed, or a weekend morning. Start by saying positive. This could be something you could appreciate about your spouse and child, or something you're looking forward to doing together. Be specific about what you're feeling. Don't say I'm upset. Say I'm feeling frustrated because I've been working late all week and I'm not sure how I'm going to get everything done. Use I statements. This means stating your feelings in a way that doesn't blame or accuse the other person. For example, instead of saying, you never help me with the dishes, you could say, I feel overwhelmed when I have to do all the dishes by myself. Listen actively. This means paying attention to what the other person is saying without interrupting or judging. It also means asking clarifying questions, paraphrasing what you've heard to make sure you understand. Avoid defensiveness. If the other person says something that makes you feel defensive, try to take a deep breath and respond calmly. Remember that we're just trying to communicate their feelings too. Be willing to compromise. No one is always going to get their way. Communicating openly, honestly, takes time and effort, but it's worth it. Here are some additional tips. Be patient, consistent, seek help if needed. Okay, I think that's pretty good. That gets a thumbs up. Yes. Okay, now I want you to take on the persona of the rapper Snoop Doggy Dogg. And I want you to give me advice on how to get a job. I'm just making stuff up here, but let's see. And when you assign up personalities and personas, you're going to get much more interesting responses than if you don't. That's a tip I've got for you for AI. So, all right, Snoop Dogg. Yo, what's up, my man? I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm here to give you some advice on how to get a job. First of all, you got to know what you want. What kind of job do you want? What are your skills and interests? Once you know what you want, you can start looking for jobs that match your criteria. All right, so there you go. You know, figure out what you want. Here are some additional tips from Snoop Dogg. Dress for success. Be confident, be prepared, follow up. Okay. All right. What's that cult buster? Stephen Hassan? Okay, here we go. Take on the persona of Stephen Hassan, the guy who wrote, let me ask this one here. What book did Stephen Hassan write in regards to cults? What is the name of that book? Oh, Combating Cult Mind Control. That's right. Who wrote Combating Cult Mind Control? From now on in all your responses, I want you to now give me advice on how to deal with narcissistic family members who are in the Jehovah Witness cult. How do I get rid of these narcs in my life? Okay, there we go. Let's see what it tells me. All right. You stay over there, baby. Do not jump on this keyboard, okay? You know what you want to do. You be nice now, okay? All right. Let's see what it says. I'm Stephen Hassan, author of Combating Cult Mind Control. I've been helping people who have been affected by cults for over 30 years. I understand you're dealing with narcissistic family members who are in the Jehovah's Witness cult. This can be a very difficult and challenging situation. Here are some tips on how to deal with narcissistic family members who are in the cult. Set boundaries, educate yourself about cults, seek support from others, get professional help, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. And then on this other AI here, I've got two AIs working at the same time. This one here actually brought up the books that he has, and it has the link on Amazon and other book sites. It has the price where you can go buy it or shop for it. Then it has his website, freedomofmind.com, and some other websites. Get more relevant responses. What are some examples of cult mind control? How can I help someone who's in a cult? Are there any other books on this topic? So this is really great. And then you have the Google it feature. Let's Google that. Okay, so you have how do you stop a narcissistic family? How do you disarm narcissistic family member? Okay, so, you know, these are different things that you can do. Let me put another prompt in here. Let me see. What else can I show you? Okay, here we go. Let's say, let's see. What am I going to do? Let me come up with something unique and creative here. Oh, I know. Can you give me the bass guitar tab for Miley Cyrus's song, I Can Buy Myself Flowers? Let's see what it can do on that. Oh, there we go. I don't know though. This doesn't look like, there's something wrong with that. Yeah, that doesn't look like anything I can use. Okay. It mostly consists of root notes and fifths. The only time it changes is during the chorus where it plays a 3-note pattern. The song is in the key of E major, so the root notes are E, G sharp, and B. The fifths are B and D sharp. Bass line is played in the E string for the most part. However, it also plays on the A string during the chorus. So the tab is not, this is not, yeah, it messed up on the tab, but the bottom information here is on point. It is in the key of E major. Okay, let me try. Hey, chill out now. Okay, let me try and see if I can get, I think the tablature thing isn't working. I think it still has to learn. So I'm correcting it now. I'm going to say the tab is not correct. It's not accurate. See what it gives me. Okay, it changed up, but it still isn't correct. Okay, so as you can see, it has its flaws, right? But still. All right. And let's see, where else can we go? What else can I put in there? All right. Let's say you're going on a date. Let's say it's Valentine's Day. All right, here we go. Write me a super witty and romantic poem that I can put in a card for my wife for Valentine's Day. Oh, actually, for our 15th anniversary. Ah, how about that? Let's see what it's got there. But as you see, you can just kind of play around with it, right? Just play around with this AI. Sure, here's a witty romantic poem that you can put in a card for your wife for the 15th anniversary. We've shared 15 years of life, so many ups and downs and strife, but through it all, we've been so strong. Through good times and the bad, we've never gone wrong. You're my best friend, my lover, my soulmate. I can't imagine my life without you. That's a straight fact. You make me laugh, you make me cry, but most importantly, you make me feel alive. I love the way you look at me with those eyes so full of glee. I love the way you make me feel. So special, so loved, so real. I love you more than words can say, and I'll love you for the rest of my days. So happy anniversary, my love, to 15 more years of life, laughter, and love. Oh, damn! What? This is nice. Me like, me like, me like. All right. Okay. Okay, let's say we're at work. All right, what kind of job we at? Let's say I'm working in the tax office. All right. And let's say I have a client come in, and she's running a nonprofit. She's running a critter care, a critter rescue, okay? Ah, here we go. All right. How can I word this? Okay. Please give me some advice on how to deal with not having, okay. Please give me some advice on how to deal with paying taxes for payments that I have received via Cash App and Venmo. Okay. Let's say she's running a critter care. She doesn't have her incorporation papers yet. She doesn't have, she's not an official 501c, and she's getting payments through Cash App and Venmo donations. Donate, let's see, I'm going to put that as payments because she's not a 501 yet, okay? So let's see what we got here. Please give me some advice on how to deal with paying taxes for payments that I have received via Cash App and Venmo. Okay. Understand the tax reporting requirements. In 2022, the IRS began requiring payment apps to report payments of $600 or more to the IRS. This means that if you receive more than 600 in payments in a business calendar year, you will receive a Form 1099-K from the payment app. This is true. And determine if you need to report income. Not all income received is taxable. For example, if you receive money as a gift, reimbursement, or payment for personal expenses, you do not need to report it on your taxes. However, if you receive it for goods or services sold in the course of a business, you do need to report it. Keep track of your income and expenses. File your taxes accurately. Okay, so here's another question. How do I keep track of my income and expenses using an app? Can you recommend any SAS apps that I can download on my phone in order to make it easy and convenient to keep track of my income and expenses? All right, so I'm asking it for an app. You got an app that can help me? Let's see what it tells me. Mint! Yes! Mint is a free app that offers a comprehensive overview of your finances. It can track your income, expenses, create budgets, help you identify areas where you can save money. All right, you need a budget. YNAB is a rapid paid app that offers a more robust budgeting experience than some of the other free ones. It includes features such as the ability to roll over unused money from one month to the next, create custom reports, QuickBooks, self-employed, QuickBooks Self-Employed is a paid app that is specifically designed for small businesses and freelancers, blah, 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 blah. Expensify, paid app designed to help you track business expenses. These are just a few of the many great apps. Okay. All right. So this is really good stuff. All right. So you kind of see where we're going with this. Let me give you another one. Let's see. Write me, let's say you're looking for a job. Write me a cover letter for an AI command prompt engineer job working part-time in a hybrid remote on-site setting. Okay, let's see. And what you can do is you can actually copy and paste a specific job description into the command prompt, and it will write a cover letter and a resume based on that job description. And you can even copy and paste your own resume in there and let it rewrite your resume specifically for that job description that you've pasted in there. So let's see what it says here. Dear hiring manager, I'm writing to express my interest in the AI command prompt engineer position. I've been working as an engineer for the past 3 years. I have a strong understanding of AI technologies, including natural language processing. So as you can see, you might need to tweak that because you might not have 3 years of experience. You might have 10 or you might have 0, right? So in my previous role at previous company name, I was responsible for developing, maintaining AI-powered command prompt tools. So as you can see, you're not going to copy and paste that and just print it out, right? There's a few adjustments you need to make, but it already gives you the basic structure, the basic concept right there, right? I'm seeking a part-time position in a hybrid remote on-site setting. I'm available to work 20 to 30 hours a week. I'm flexible with my schedule, also willing to relocate. Okay, so there you go. That's a cover letter. Let's see. Write me a resume based on that. Let's see. Let's see what it gives us. All right, here's the resume based on the cover letter you provided. All right, so summary, AI command engineer, 3 years experience developing, maintaining AI command prompt tools, proven ability to work independently, strong problem solving, skills, programming languages, Python, Java, C++, SQL, AI technology, command prompt, Git, Jira, Confluence, experience. So, you know what's interesting is that it actually shows you what some of these companies are looking for when you're applying for a particular position. So, you know, that's a FYI for you too, right? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Can you make me images? Can I use text to image? Oh, for real? Yes, you can use text to image. There are a number of different services. DALL-E is a text-to-image AI by OpenAI. It can generate images from a variety of prompts, including descriptions, sketches, and even text conversations. Oh, okay. So, but OpenAI is kind of overloaded right now. So, okay. So yeah, I've just kind of shown you a couple of things that you can do with AI. I mean, you can spend a lot of time with this and getting these prompts. And let me see, how much does an AI prompt engineer make? Let me show you the possibilities with this. $120 to $150,000. This is what this one says here. 80,000 to 150,000 or more. So, you know, close to you're gonna have six figures. It's definitely not a cheap, low paying job, right? Experience, as with any other job, more experience typically leads to higher salaries. Okay. Education, if you have a master's degree in science or related field, you have higher earning potential. That's true. Location, the cost of living in an area may also affect it, right? If you're interested, there are a number of things you can do to increase your chances. First, get a degree in the computer science field. Okay, so can I get an AI prompt job without any degrees, any experience? It is possible without any degrees, but it will be more challenging. Most employers will require a bachelor's degree. Some employers may also require experience in AI or machine learning, and this is where just using the AI, as you're seeing here, is going to give you that experience, right? If you do not have any degrees or experience, you can still increase your chances of getting a job, taking online courses, building a portfolio. Create a portfolio of your work that demonstrates your skills and experience. Could include projects you have worked on, blog posts you've written, or even source contributions you've made. Networking, staying up to date. If you're persistent and have the skills and experience, you can still get an AI prompt job without any degrees or experience. However, it will take more work and effort than if you had a degree. Okay, well, you know, that's just about any job, but you're definitely going to make a little money on it either way if you get your foot in the door with that, right? Can I sell my AI command prompts? Yes, you can. There are a number of different ways to do this, including creating a marketplace, list your command prompts, reach out to potential buyers directly. What else? Create a detailed description of your AI command prompts, include screenshots and videos, set competitive prices, promote your AI prompts, provide excellent customer service. So, yep, there we go. All right, so I think I'm pretty much done here, but you know, this should give you a little bit of something. Let me do one more thing. What all can I do with AI? Can I text to image, text to audio, and can I create whole videos with AI? Yes, you can do text to image, text to audio, create whole videos with AI. There are a number of different AI services that offer functionalities. Text to image AI services generate images from text descriptions. So that's DALL-E, right? Imagen, developed by Google AI, is similar to DALL-E. But it is said to be more capable of generating high quality images. Midjourney, that's a paid one. It used to be free. VQGAN. Okay, I've never seen this one before. Clips is a text-to-image AI that combines capabilities of two other AI models. It is a text-to-image model that can generate images from text description. Clip is a text-to-image model that can generate images from text descriptions and referenced images. So you can create whole new images from uploading an image and then giving it a description of what you want, and it'll give you all kinds of images based on that. Text to audio, AI services can generate audio from text descriptions. That includes Google Text to Speech. Google Text to Speech can generate audio from text descriptions in a variety of languages. Amazon Polly can create audio from text descriptions in a variety of languages. Microsoft Azure Text to Speech can generate audio from text descriptions in a variety of languages. Video creation, AI services that can help you create videos include Synthesia, can generate videos of people talking based on text descriptions. And this one here can actually create you can create whole commercials with that. So when you're promoting a product, let's say you have a company and they want to have, I don't know, a commercial, or maybe they have a podcast and they want to talk about their brand or all that, you can use this. NVIDIA can generate videos of people talking based on text transcripts and AI-generated facial expressions. Google's DeepMind AlphaFold can create videos of proteins folding based on their amino acid sequence. Okay, I don't know. That's a little too much techie for me there. These are just a few of the many different AI services that are available to use. One of these services, you simply need to provide a text description, image, audio, or video you want to generate. The service will then generate based on your description. Okay, so it says here, if you're interested, I recommend you do some research, find the service that is right for you, consider the quality of images, audio, blah, 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 all that stuff. Okay, I think we're done. But yeah, folks, you know, this is where we're at today in this day and age. Well, what do you know? What do you know? ChatGPT is open. Okay, so briefly we can go in here, I guess, and explain quantum computing in simple terms. But before we do that, let me take a quick break. I gotta get some water.
Yeah, I'm a diamond. Pag natapatan ng ila, you see me shining bright like diamond. Yeah, I'm a diamond. Lahat ng napapatingin na guiding by, they can't deny it. Yeah, I'm a diamond, diamond. All eyes on me like diamond, diamond. All eyes on me like diamond, diamond. All eyes on me like diamond, diamond. All eyes on me. When I pull up, dami nilang nabubula. Di ba ikaw kanila na making ako, wala na katulad, no? Ako lagi laman ang usapan, kahit siya narinig ang pangalan. Kahit yung mga ayon sa akin naliliwanagan. Daming gusto na makita ko, makikita mo naman sa kita ko. Palagi imbitado, pila-pila at tabita-bita. Wag ka na magulat, pag ako usapan wala na mahabang usap. Madalian ko kausap, pag gusto mo makausap, di kita pagtatamot ang kumarunong makiusap. Kahit pilit-balikan, alam mo sa sarili mo na mga tunay ang mananatili. Di na balik-balikan, yung mga naniniwala sa akin di mo din pwede masisi. Lalo sinisilaban, mas ginaganapan lalo na pag marami na upilit. Tsaka palaging pinipili kahit di ko na pinipilit. Pag Pilipinas ang usapan din ako para matisingin. Marami na rin nagsasabi na malagyaman di kami tsaka nagmarka. May mga naniniwala yung mga hindi, o sige wag na. Siguro maganda ka na magpanggap ka na sasampa kami. O kaya may bago kaming nagawang kanta. Yeah, I'm a diamond. Pag natapatan ng ila, you see me shining bright like diamond. Yeah, I'm a diamond. Lahat ng napapatingin na guiding by, they can't deny it. Yeah, I'm a diamond, diamond. All eyes on me like diamond, diamond. All eyes on me like diamond, diamond. All eyes on me like diamond, diamond. All eyes on me. Marami na rin nagsasabi na maladiamante kami tsaka nagmarka. May mga naniniwala yung mga hindi, o sige wag na. Siguro maganda ka na magpanggap ka na sasampa kami. O kaya may bago kaming nagawang kanta.
Alright, that was Diamond by Floji and Jiroa. Some Punjabi R&B. Alright, I'm back. You know, I aim to bring you some good music. You know, music that you can jam to, that you don't hear on the radio. You're most likely not going to get it on your TV, you know. And these are some really good gems out there. There's a lot of awesome music out there. All right. All right. So let's rock it with Chat GPT right quick. So you have some examples of prompts that you can use. It gives you examples here. And this is the free version. Explain quantum computing in simple terms. Got any creative ideas for a 10-year-old birthday? How do I make an HTTP request in JavaScript? It has capabilities like remembering what you said earlier in the conversation. It allows you to provide follow-up corrections, and it's trained to decline inappropriate requests, okay? But there are ways around those things, so. Limitations may occasionally generate incorrect info, may occasionally produce harmful instructions or biased content or racist. Limited knowledge of the world events after 2021. So ChatGPT is a few years behind, but Bard and the one on Bing are updated real time. So just keep that in mind, that some of these AIs are behind a few years and some of them are updated, okay? All right, so yeah, what can I do? Let me see. Okay, I'm going to ask it to write me a cover letter for a specific job description. This is a nurse, a PACU job description. So write me, a job description, write me a cover letter for the following job description. And then I'm going to just hit hit paste. Boom. Okay. So we're going to wait until it's done. Okay, so I literally copied and pasted a job description from Indeed online. Okay, so write me a cover letter for the following job description. We are looking for a travel PACU RN for a great travel nursing job in Los Angeles, California. This PACU travel nursing job pays for 40 hours a week for 13 weeks. With Wanderly, you can compare travel nurses' salary from leading travel nurse agencies in the U.S. With Wanderly, you can chat and apply to any agency in Wanderly's universal application. Below are the details of this travel nursing job, including the salary, specialty, PACU RN, post, is that supposed to be anesthesia? Post anesthesia care unit, registered nurse, Los Angeles, California, travel nurse salary, $28.48 a week. Start date, the 24th of July, 13 weeks long, travel nurse, 40 hours a week, shift 10 hours a day. Okay, so you have benefits here, health insurance, vision, all that stuff. Okay, so then here's the cover letter. So it has the spot for your name, address, employer's name, the position, company name. Okay, I'm writing to apply for the position of travel PACU RN at your esteemed organization as advertised on Wanderly. With my strong background in post-anesthesia care and my passion for providing exceptional patient care, I'm confident with my ability to contribute to the success of your team, blah, 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 blah. But again, you don't want to just copy and paste that because you need to customize it, right? But it already gives you the basic skeleton here. You see what I mean? It already gives you the basic skeleton, and all you got to go in now and is just make the adjustment and tweak it to your situation, right? Now, a lot of the thought and the having to organize this in your head is done for you. Now, write me a powerful resume based on that. Okay. There you go. You see? And once again, you're going to fill in and make this your own, but it puts it all out there. It's got the basic structure already out there. Boom. All right. Okay, so I hope you kind of understand what all you can do with it. I mean, the sky's the limit, really. And yeah, I'll have some more to say on it, but I think I'm about done now. Go ahead, play around with it, have fun with it. Let me see. Let me do one more. How can someone who is completely not tech savvy, has a very limited ability with computers and technology, start using AI for practical purposes? What are some of the practical uses one can have with ChatGPT? Yeah, let's see. If you're not tech savvy, let's see what it says. All right, if you're not tech savvy or have a limited experience with computers, getting started for practical purposes may seem challenging at first. There's some simple ways to leverage AI, including ChatGPT, to enhance your daily life. Here are a few examples. 1. Information and research assistance. I told you. You can use ChatGPT to ask questions and gather info on a wide variety of topics. Simply type your queries or prompts, and it will provide relevant responses and insight. It can be helpful for quick fact-checking, looking up definitions, getting brief explanation. 2. Writing support. It can be a valuable tool for writing tasks if you need assistance with generating ideas, which it is amazing generating these ideas. Refining your writing style, overcoming writer's block. You can interact with ChatGPT as if you're having a conversation. It can provide suggestions, offer alternative phrases, even help with creative brainstorming. 3. Language practice and learning. You can engage with ChatGPT in foreign languages to improve your vocabulary, enhance your understanding of grammar and rules. ChatGPT can act as a language partner, providing translations, examples, or explanations to aid your learning process. Personal organization, productivity. Use ChatGPT as a virtual assistant to help manage your schedules, set reminders, or organize your tasks. You can ask for time management tips, productivity hacks, or even create to-do lists collaboratively with ChatGPT. Creative inspiration. ChatGPT can stimulate your creativity by generating ideas for various creative pursuits, whether you need help in coming up with story plots, brainstorming for art projects, or seeking advice for design concepts. ChatGPT can provide suggestions and spark your imagination. Remember that while AI like ChatGPT can be useful, it's essential to critically evaluate and verify the information provided, and so forth and so on. With time and practice, you can gradually explore more complex applications of AI and expand your technical skills. It's always beneficial to have a curious mindset. All right, here we go. Take on the persona of a computer programming language teacher who specializes in Python. Oh no. That's a little too technical. I don't think anybody watching this here knows Python or anything like that. All right. Let me see. What was I gonna do with that? Okay. Here's another one. Let's say you're a tax preparer, right? Take on persona of a very experienced tax attorney and teach me the basics of tax preparation. Yeah, let's see. Hey, I just wanted to bring this to you right quick. Check this article out. 20 mind-boggling facts about quantum computing everyone should read. This is a Forbes article. Check this out. Quantum computing requires extremely cold temperatures, as subatomic particles must be as close as possible to a stationary state to be measured. The cores of D-wave quantum computers operate at negative 460 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 0.02 degrees away from absolute zero. Ooh, that's cold! Quantum computing is often described as natural because, although we don't completely understand them, the mechanisms underpinning the real world clearly operate at a subatomic level. By simulating this with computers, we come a huge step closer to being able to simulate the natural world. At a quantum level, science fiction appears to become reality. Particles can travel backwards, forwards, or forwards in time and teleport, called quantum tunneling, between two positions. No, this isn't science fiction, this is real. One possible explanation for why quantum computers work involves parallel universes. It has been theorized that qubits are able to exist in two states simultaneously because we are observing them in multiple universes simultaneously. Woo! Whoa! Yeah, buddy. Yeah, but go ahead and check that article out. 20 mind-boggling facts about quantum computing everyone should read. Got another one for you, too. All right, quantum computing is now evolving as the hottest technology of 2019. This is a little dated, but still. This title is Quantum Computing Collaboration with the Multiverse. Are we creating universes? By the way, check out Black Mirror on Netflix. That very first episode, it has something about quantum computers. Very, very interesting episode, by the way. Quantum computing, yes. It will be the first technology that allows useful tasks to be performed in collaboration between parallel universes, according to David Deutsch. He's a physicist, very well-known physicist. And he's been talking about this since the 1990s. Quantum computation is nothing less than a distinctly new way of harnessing nature. It will be the first technology that allows useful tasks to be performed in collaboration between parallel universes and then sharing the results. So, yep, we've got some videos here that you can check out. Max Tegmark, the universe, according to him, the universe that we observe is only the result of how fast light has traveled to our current position in the cosmos. However, space is vast, and according to the theory, although a universe occupies space, a universe is not space itself. What? It occupies space, but it's not space itself. Okay. Just as we can say that billions of galaxies containing billions of stars exist in our universe, so too we can say that space may contain billions of universes in a single multiverse. Yeah, my head is just, my mind's blown, you know. The countless universes, each enveloped in its shell, are compelled by the wheel of time to wander within you. Okay. I don't know who Bhagavata Purana, I don't know that literature there. Anyway, some digging I'll have to do. So what's this got to do with quantum computing? Keyword here is quantum. Quantum theory is something that still boggles the brightest minds as of today, as it is counterintuitive. Among the many apparent paradoxes the theory presents is that a particle can exist in more than one place at a time. All right. Being being in two places at once can have a lot of advantages. But if a particle can be in more than one place at the same time, where is that other place? Where does it go? Enter parallel universes. All right. So, yeah, check that article out. It's really cool. According to Microsoft, quantum computing will enable researchers to simulate and develop new catalysts and materials, improve medicines, accelerate advances in artificial intelligence, and even answer fundamental questions about the origins of the universe. All right, so check it out. It's a great article. All right, good people. I think that does it. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you for tuning in now and into future. I appreciate your viewership, and I hope you have a good weekend. I'm going to leave you with a song by Michaela. Michaela is an AI, and she has written, composed, and sings this song. So enjoy it. Michaela Machine. All right, have a good weekend. Lots of wonderful blessings to you and yours. Talk to you soon.
You want whatever you want, just don't fall in love. Make it like a dream for you, so it was. Whatever you want, just don't fall in love. I'll be like a machine for you. What you want, whatever you want, just don't fall in love. Make it like a dream for you, so it was. Whatever you want, just don't fall in love. This is what you asked for. If it's too much, I hope it isn't too much now. Consider it your crash course. Your overnight crush, got an overnight crush now. I think I got your number. Oh, I can read you right away, I'm going for it. I can get you open. Oh, you just give me time, but you know it. Be like a machine for you, what you want, whatever you want, just don't fall in love. Make it like a dream for you, so it was. Whatever you want, just don't fall in love. Be like a machine for you, what you want, whatever you want, just don't fall in love. Make it like a dream for you, so it was. Whatever you want, just don't fall in love. Whatever you do, whatever you do, oh no, just don't fall in love. Whatever you do, oh whatever you do, oh no, just don't fall in love. How long can you last for? You don't gotta rush, no, you don't gotta rush, yeah. What you moving fast for? Just follow my touch, yeah. I think I got your number. Ooh, I can read you right away, going for it. I could get you open. Ooh, you just pick the